Matthew 15:2. Dia ti hoi matheitaisu parabainusen tein paradasen ton presbyteron. Ugar niptontai tas keras auton hoton arton esthiosen. Here the scribes and Pharisees are questioning Jesus, and they ask, on account of what? In other words, why? Why do your disciples transgress the tradition of the elders? Question. Then we have this explanatory comment here. Remember that gar is a post-positive word that will always jump second. In English, we put those little connecting words first. These scribes and Pharisees say, for they do not wash, referring here to his disciples, they do not wash their hands. And there's a question. You can see the brackets here around auton. There's a textual question as to whether Matthew originally wrote auton or whether later scribes added that in. Obviously, the sense is the same. It is true in Koine Greek, the possession of body parts is usually implied. So you would often just have tas, keras, and implied that their hands, not just hands generally, but their hands. For they do not wash their hands when or whenever. We know the subjunctive is going to come after haton. We see a lengthened vowel. There it is. This is just a present active subjunctive, third person plural. Whenever they eat bread. Whenever they eat bread. Arton is just the accusative singular form of artos, probably one of the first words you learned, the word for bread, ha artos. And so you'll notice that many English translations even leave that out, just whenever they eat. Well, if you think about it, they're not just concerned about the disciples eating bread. They wouldn't say, well, it's fine for them not to wash their hands when they eat this other stuff, but when they eat bread, they need to wash their hands. So we understand that eating bread, this is a figure of speech known as synecdoche, where a part stands for the whole or the whole for the part. So here bread is standing for, obviously, any nourishment that you would eat. It's not just eating bread, but eating food. And so I think even I'm looking here at the ESV, it says, for they do not wash their hands when they eat. I can understand why in English the translators might choose to leave out the word bread because it might be confusing to a native English speaker. Let's look at one final thing before we leave. Let's look at the word niptantai. And you look at that, that is from the word nipto, to wash, a word that often occurs in the middle. And this is a middle here. It's just a present middle indicative third person plural. For they do not wash their hands when they eat or whenever they eat bread.